still Castles and Cribs, your premier online property TV. My name is Said Fuad, your host, and today on the property law segment, I'll be speaking with a registered surveyor. His name is Andrew Dokai. He's the MD of OTIC Surveys, and he specializes in land surveys, water surveys, air surveys. He's a graduate of the University of Lagos. He has worked in the oil and gas sector before moving fully into his own private practice. He's a member of the Nigerian Institute of Surveyors, NIS, and also Association of Private Practicing Surveyors. Today I'm here to speak with Surveyor Dokai on the role of a surveyor in verifying the status of a land.
A surveyor is basically a person that is qualified to carry survey. And how do you know is qualified? Surveyors are regulated by Surveyors Council of Nigeria. Before you can become a surveyor, there's a process. You either study surveying in your undergraduate, or you do a PGD surveying. Maybe study the related course, and then you can do PGD surveying, and then you write the second exam. So, like I said before, surveying is regulated by Surveyors Council of Nigeria. So, anybody today that says he's a surveyor must have passed the second exams. So once they have passed the second exams, they will give you a certificate, and in that certificate they will say you can practice anywhere within the Federal Republic of Nigeria. You understand? So there are some of us, we practice in Lagos, Ogun State, several states. You understand? So a surveyor basically is somebody that has the license to practice surveying. He has passed the second exams and he has been given the license to practice surveying. It's not only a surveyor that can verify the status of a land, but it's always best to go through a surveyor. Why? You see, there are people who believe a lot in their lawyers, that lawyer can do everything. You understand? Sometimes they want to buy land, they give all the money to the lawyer. From beginning to the end, lawyer handle everything. Fine, no problem. But what I always tell people is this, there are things surveyors know about land, about some certain areas that people don't usually know. You understand? So if you want to verify a land, it's always best. You know, most times before most of these lands become available for sale, it's surveyors that go in there first. Surveyors do the survey, surveyors cut the bush, surveyors do the layout. You understand? So they know a lot of things that happen during all those processes. And most times surveyors discuss with the families that own those lands. You understand? So I tell people, if it's to verify the status of a land, go through a surveyor. A surveyor that is registered, a surveyor that you trust, so that he will tell you the actual status of the land. So it's not difficult. You go through the surveyor knows how to get the status of the land that allows her. You understand? He will tell you the status of the land, and then you are sure of whatever you want to do. You understand? But it's always very important. Always very important to, before you do any land transaction, especially in Lagos, always verify the status of the land. And you know why? I'll tell you why. All land belongs to the government. By law, all land belongs to the government. It's the one that the government has released to people that you can actually buy and get title for. When government gives you a title like CFO or governor's consent, you will not buy government land that they've kept for themselves for a particular purpose, and then you won't go and ask them to give you governor's consent for their own land. Do you understand? So it's always best, check the status of a land. If it's free, fine, you go ahead. If it's not free, you make up your mind what you're going to do. But whatever the case, any land you want to buy, whether even if it's half plot, it's your investment, it's your money, always find out the status of the land first. Verifying the status of a land is not expensive. It's actually very cheap. Compared to the cost of the land, it's peanuts. Compared to the cost. But you see, what we've noticed is that you'll be surprised. Somebody wants to buy a property 50 million naira. He's not willing to pay 20,000 naira to verify the property, to verify the status of the land. And you say, okay, what do you want to buy? Or you pay 20,000 naira. And you say, no, why? Surveyor, the money is too much now. But he wants to buy a property of 50 million naira. would you rather go and make a mistake with your 50 million naira? You understand? So it's not expensive. It costs a few thousand naira. You understand? So it's something that you should do, because the cost of what you want to buy is always far larger than the cost of verifying the property, and the cost of verifying the status of the land. So it's not expensive to verify the status of the land. We are talking about status of a land. You see, this is what we do every day. This is what I do every day. And I can tell you, I have several people that have bought land and are now regretting. Even I have a client that recently was blaming me for, okay, let me tell you what happened. He bought a property. He didn't tell me. He built. He had almost completed the building when I believe somebody started to mention to him that, okay, that this place you are building is a government area. The land is not free from government acquisition. So he now contacted me and said, can you help me verify? Also, I want to do my survey. You understand? I want to do my survey, but help us verify. You will not believe, when we did the verification and found out that the land is actually under government acquisition. No problem. We told him, and it was sad. He said, I've sunk 20 million naira into this place, this and that. So I now told him that most cases you don't know how long it will take the government to come back to do whatever they want to do on that land. That there are a lot of people who are built on land that are government land, but up to now government has not come. They will come eventually, but since you have almost finished this property, why don't you finish it and rent it out and start getting something back? You understand? Just in case government. So he took my advice and he quickly did some work there. We did not know that just less than 1 month later, government will come with letter, demolition letter, that his land is on government land, and that if he does not demolish it within I can't even remember what's on the letter, but they told him that they will demolish his property within, I think, a week or 2 weeks. I can't remember. So guess what he did? He sent me a message that he took my advice. You understand? He said he took my advice to finish the properties, that he has wasted. So I didn't even know what to do. You see, that's why as a professional, I don't like to tell people what to do. I just tell them what they can do. You understand? I tell them what they can do and then allow them make their own decision. So you see, that man, that's just one case. That's just one case. So it's very important. It's very important okay. So let me just finish that story. So the man is actually connected. He knows people. So he went around, big people. I don't want to mention, and they told him there's nothing we can do. There's nothing we can do. That place is a government area. So now, if you ask me, what land can you buy? I will tell you, always go for a land that is free from government acquisition. Your life becomes easy. Why? Once you have paid and done every other thing, your deed, you can move to the next step. You do your survey and you can do a registered survey. Because once the land is under government acquisition, you cannot do a registered survey. You can't do a registered survey. If you can't do a registered survey, how can you get title on the land? Because survey is like a critical ingredient for title. So if your land is under government acquisition, you can't do registered survey, you can't get any title on the land. So I tell people, if you want to buy a land that is free from government acquisition, and every other thing will be smooth for you.